I would like to open this session of the Planning Commission for the City of Monterey. Any announcements before we move into public comment? Then I'll turn it over to Jennifer to do her bit.
Hi there. First, I will take the roll call and announce from staff today, city staff, we do only have myself, Administrative Assistant Jennifer Cleary, and also our interim principal planner, Fernanda Roveri today. And for the commissioners, we have Chair Brassfield for a roll call vote. I mean, just a roll call.
Present.
And Vice Chair Freeman.
Present.
Commissioner Dawson.
Here.
Commissioner Fletcher.
Here.
Commissioner Latassa.
Present.
Commissioner Milich.
Here.
And Commissioner Reed.
I'm here.
Great, we've got a full house. Everyone is present today.
So then we can go to public comment and how we
Sure.
call in.
Definitely. So we encourage members of the public to join our meetings via Zoom Gov as it is a secure service and will connect you live with no lag time. This meeting is also streamed live on youtube.com/City of Monterey with a 10-second delay and Comcast channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. If you would like to provide public comment, please join the meeting using Zoom or by telephone, making sure to join in time to accommodate delays. To join the
Were we going to have the consent agenda first?
No, we do public comment.
I can make this announcement first, and then we can proceed as usual. We do have to allow the public a chance to comment
That's
on
right.
the minutes from last session, the minutes that we're voting on today. So I can make this announcement and then pass it back to the chair, and we can proceed as he prefers. Does that sound good?
Good.
All right. So where was I? Sorry, I'm reading. To join using a computer or phone, use the link or phone number provided on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. Since this meeting has begun already, it will be in the recent tab all the way at the bottom. To join by telephone, please dial 833-568-8864, toll free. There are a couple of different numbers on the agenda too, so if one doesn't work, try another one. Again, that website is isearchmonterey.org. After you dial that phone number, you will want to enter the webinar ID, which for this meeting is 161-990-8039. If prompted for participant ID, press pound. Detailed instructions for using Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meetings. Once you are in the Zoom meeting, to provide public comment, raise your hand in Zoom, or by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand, then *6 to unmute yourself when called upon. We will pick on commenters in order of hands raised, and you will be given a 3-minute time limit designated by the chair. Thank you. That is all from me, and currently we have no hands raised.
And I would like to make an announcement that I had received a couple of complaints from the public that they cannot get in and there's a delay. Well, I assume part of it is what you mentioned, but also that's why I said I would try to allow them a little bit more time to get set up. So thank you. And
Absolutely.
So if we could, if there's nobody to raise their hands, I would like to go over the minutes from the last meeting. Any
Move to approve
comment?
as submitted.
Okay, any
Second,
comments? We have a first and a second. Who was the second?
Mike.
Mike.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any comments? Then I would like to call for the vote if we could.
Definitely. First, Chair Brassfield,
Yes.
Vice Chair Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dawson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fletcher. Oh, sorry, Commissioner Fletcher
Yes.
and Commissioner Latassa,
Aye.
Commissioner Milich,
Yes.
and Commissioner Reed.
Yep.
Great. That passed unanimously. The minutes
you.
are approved.
Appreciate it. Has anyone made any, raised their hands? Public comment?
I still see no hands raised, and this can also be for items not on the agenda as well at this time. And once again, *9 to raise your hand or *6 to unmute. We have one
And we would
participant.
ask if you please give us your name, and please remember that any issues come up under this agenda item that we cannot comment them because it's not on the agenda. So thank you. If not hearing of any raised hands, I would like to move on to the presentation.
Thank you, Chair. And my name is Fernanda Roveri, Interim Principal Planner for the City of Monterey. And the first item on the public hearing agenda is, let me just make sure, 940 West Franklin Street. An application for a H2 historic zoning. Applicant owner Christopher Barlow and Julie Tilly Barlow. The zoning is R16. The general plan designation is low density residential, and it's exempt from CEQA per Article 19, Section 15305, Class 5. So I will present my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
Looks good.
Okay. The recommendation is that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution recommending that the City Council adopt an ordinance to rezone the property as a city historic resource. And on February 11th of this year, the HPC reviewed the project and recommended that the Planning Commission recommend this to the City Council. So the HPC already reviewed the rezone request. The subject property is again 940 West Franklin, and the applicant is requesting a rezone to a city historic resource. The applicant had architectural historian Kent Seavey prepare an intensive survey for the property, which is required for historic rezones. The survey reported that the house is known as the Samuel and Bertha Janvey House, and it qualifies as a local historic resource based on California Register Criterion 3, which says that the resource embodies the distinctive characteristics of a type, period, region, or method of construction, or represents the work of a master or possesses high artistic values. The survey reports that this is an intact example of the Spanish colonial bungalow architectural style, which was found in Monterey in the 1920s. And some of the character defining features of such a style include its one-story wood framed form, its textured stucco exterior wall cladding, low-pitched side-gabled mission tile roof and parapet, membrane-covered flat roof, irregular tapered shaped stucco chimney, which you can see here with a caramel stone veneer at the base, and a caramel stone terraced entry enclosed by a shaped low stucco wall with decorative metal grille work.
Nice.
In order for the Planning Commission to make a recommendation to Council, it needs to find that the property meets the eligibility requirements for the H2 zoning. And it does, because the property has been identified by a qualified historian to be a significant local historic resource. And just a little bit more background, I forgot to mention, this request is being proposed in addition to a Millsack request. but that request will go to city council at a later meeting. It's not really something that the planning commission needs to make a decision on. It goes from HPC to city council for the Millsack portion of the project. So again, the recommendation is that the planning commission adopt the resolution recommending this rezone to the city council. And that's it. I'm available for questions, and the applicant is also here on this call.
Fernand, I have a question. I think some of the materials here that it was used in the report refer to Parks and Recreation on this project. Do you know why that is? It's a historical issue, I assume.
Oh, do you mean the attachments?
Correct.
So yeah, the intensive survey that was prepared by Kansas City, it was prepared on a form that is maintained by, I believe, the Parks Department of the state. And so this is just the form that they use to record historic properties.
Thank you. I had just assumed that that was it, but I wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions? Seems to be pretty straightforward. Would the applicant, if we could have the applicant make any comments?
If the audio is working.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Well, this is Christopher Barlow, the homeowner, and I just wanted to thank Fernanda for great presentation and for helping us through this process, and express our continued interest in keeping this house up as a historic resource for us and the city of Monterey. So very much appreciate your consideration. That's all I've got.
Thank
I have a
you.
question, Christopher. I drove by the house today and it is a double lot. And so it's really impressive, the amount of space given to the house. Has there ever been a driveway?
It never was paved to my knowledge. And that's
Okay.
actually one of the things we liked about it, is that it's sort of informal, and to me, very much in keeping with Monterey. And, you know, our landscaping tends to be pretty minimal. It tends to be the oak leaves that get dropped from the big oak tree, and we kind of like it that way. So, yeah, we definitely are trying to keep the low-key aesthetic going.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for any comments and process.
I mean, I think it's really straightforward. I don't have anything super much to say, but I mean, I'd be willing to make a motion to recommend council adoption of ordinance rezoning the property at 940 West Franklin Street from R16 to R16H2.
I'll second that.
Second that. Oh,
I
Actually-
agree. This is pretty straightforward. It's a really a good looking house, and it's not been altered over the years and whatnot. This is easy.
Okay, so we have a first and a second by Hanson and Dan. Any last comments? And I'll ask for a vote.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
did you open it for public comment?
Oh, I beg your pardon. It is. Let's bring it back to the public. And Jennifer, tell us if we have any raised hands.
Definitely. We do only have one attendee currently in the meeting, so I will announce how to join the meeting using the agenda at isearchmonterey.org. Under the Recents tab, you will find our agenda with Zoom instructions for logging on, and they have their webinar ID and link and everything. To join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864. If asked for a webinar ID, it is 161-990-8039. To raise your hand, if you're in Zoom, there is a button for that. If you're on the phone, dial *9 to raise your hand and then *6 to unmute yourself. And currently, I see one attendee but no hands raised, so I will assume they do not want to comment on this subject.
Thank you.
So removed.
I so
So we
second.
still have a first and a second, and call for a vote.
back at it again. So for the first, I did have Commissioner Reed, and then I marked the second as Commissioner Fletcher. I know there was almost a tie there, but I think I heard Dan first.
Correct.
So for the vote, I have Chair Brathfield,
Yes.
Vice Chair Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dawson,
Yes.
Commissioner Fletcher,
Yes.
Commissioner Latassa,
Aye.
Commissioner Milich,
Aye.
and Commissioner Reed.
Yep.
Great, and that passed unanimously. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on to the next item. I assume that we're going to have the same presenter.
Yes, thank you. So the next item is consider 150 Carmelito Avenue use permit application UP 21009 for a massage establishment. The applicant is Ms. Juan Wu. Owner is Ms. Ying Liu. The zoning is COES. The general plan designation is commercial, and it is exempt from CEQA per Article 19, Section 15305, Class 5. And let me share my screen. Here I put a map of the existing site, 150 Carmelito Avenue. It's there's a 2-story commercial building there, and it's currently vacant. And again, the site has commercial land use and commercial office / emergency shelter zoning. The project is a use permit for a massage establishment. The establishment would be called Ofe Spa, and they are proposing foot and body massages. The hours of operation are proposed to be from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Ms. Juan Wu is a certified massage therapist, and currently she's the only one that would be performing massages there. The building is and Ms. Wu would like to locate in the downstairs unit, and she would like to have 3 tables and security camera and alarm system. And that's 3 massage tables. And then the site has an existing parking lot in the back, accessed by a driveway from Carmelito Avenue. And that parking lot has 6 existing spaces. The project is consistent with the zoning ordinance in that massage establishments are permitted by conditional use permit, and the applicant has met all of the submittal requirements for the use permit. The project is not detrimental to public health, safety, or welfare because the business owner is a licensed massage therapist. And in addition, the applicant is required to obtain a separate massage permit through the police department. So there's a second check that we do. And then, and I have to mention that Ms. Wu already had a massage permit, but it was for a different address on Cass Street. And so she's moving her business to Carmelito. And then the business would operate within an enclosed building, and there's sufficient parking on site. There are 6 parking spaces, and the massage establishment requirement for parking is 1 space per 500 square feet. And that equals to 2 spaces that are required for the downstairs unit. So there's enough parking on site. And then the permit is required to comply with the conditions that are listed in the resolution. So no massages are allowed until the 10-day appeal period concludes. and until the police permit is obtained. The hours shall be 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The security provisions shall be operational and maintained through the life of the use permit. And any new signage requires review and approval through the planning office prior to installation. And the recommendation is that the planning commission approve the use permit. I'm here for questions, and I saw that the applicants and owner are online, if you have any questions for them.
Fernanda,
Yeah,
I do have a question. Thanks for your excellent report and presentation. So I have no problem with the use permit. Seems good, but in your report, you mentioned the water allocation. And I imagine this was a lawyer's office before or something like that.
yes.
So is there, like, when you talk about water allocation, that's just the description of the process. There isn't actually water available for new expansions of water use.
That's right. The applicant is required to operate with the existing water credits on site. So massage establishment doesn't use very much water, as well as the law office. So
Okay, so it's the same classification.
yeah, they're both personal service types of uses that don't have very much water consumption.
Great, but and the city, that's great. That's what I thought. So, but the city doesn't have any water to give away right now for applicants.
No.
Okay, okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, you're muted.
Sorry, I didn't realize that. The paperwork we got suggested that it would change from 2 massage tables to, but there's only one masseuse going to be operating there. Is that correct?
That's correct. That is Ms. Wu's request. She wanted initially 2, but now she wants 3. And right now she said she only, she would be operating as a masseuse. No other masseuse or massage therapist would operate there.
Thank you. I will save the question for the applicant. Appreciate it. Any other questions? Then let's see if the applicant wishes to make a presentation. Jennifer?
There is an applicant on the line for this as a panelist. I will ask them to unmute themselves. I believe this is the applicant who does have somebody with them there to translate. Juin, I think. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Yes. My name is Tan Truong, and I just happen to be knowing her. She want me to listen in and act as an interpreter. So my name is Tan, THANH. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm live with her. I'm sitting next to her. Okay.
The commission, other commissioners have any questions? Or do you wish to make a presentation?
She said no presentation, but I listen in and explain what is going on about her case. That's all.
Okay. I will ask my question. I raised it a minute ago. It originally started, the paperwork changed from a request for 3 massage tables from 2 to 3. And there's only going to be 1 massage therapist there. Is that correct?
他说你刚开始呢，你从两个台按摩椅， 到3个，然后但是你只有1个人做，他问你为什么？
之后我们生意好的话，可能还要再请一个推拿师。
Okay, this is initially she tried to make the business happen, start slowly by herself, and then later on when the business pick up, and she will be able to hire another certified massage therapist for it. So that's why she applied for little more the 3 instead of just 1 or 2.
Yeah, but as I understand it, you're only going to have 2 parking places. Is that correct?
你只有
有
多少个？他说2个，你有6个是吧？
好像这个 building 有6个 parking。
Okay, the parking actually has 6 parking lot. I'm sorry, 6 parking space.
Thanks for the clarification. Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. Is the upstairs going to remain vacant, or is this a live-work situation where you live above and work below?
他想问你，楼上你就把它丢空，还是有做什么企业，还是住来做住的，还是怎么样？
想要做住的，但现在还在申请。
Was thinking living, but still have to apply, ask the permit for that.
Yeah, that's right. I visited the site and I actually saw the inside. The upstairs is not a living unit, so there would need to be a use permit applied for a mixed use permit, and then a building department permit to convert it into a living unit.
他说在上面不可以住，但是你可以申请，building 那边，看看给不给你。Thank you.
Would that be a different water allocation as well?
Yes, it would.
Thank you.
如果你住的那个水是不够的话。
我们够，他这个已经查过，他有的。
Okay, they seems like already checked on the water. Seems like enough water credit for that.
Okay, that would be part of the process. Thank you. Any other questions for the applicant?
还有什么讲话吗？要讲什么吗？
没有了。
If
No,
not,
thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's close out that process and bring it back to commission for discussion.
I think we need to open it up to public comment.
Thank you very much. If you would, Jennifer, let's open it up for public comment.
Definitely. To join the meeting using a computer or phone, use the link or phone number listed on the agenda at isearchmonterey.org. Our PC webinar ID is 161-990-8039. Once you're in the Zoom, to provide public comment, please raise your hand. Or if you're on the phone, please dial *9 to raise your hand, then *6 to unmute when called upon. And we do have 1 participant still, but no hands raised. So I think it's safe to continue. If that changes, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you. Then let's bring it back for discussion and let us know if you get a raised hand. Any discussion?
No real discussion on my part. I mean, it's relatively straightforward proposal. Seems like she's checked all the boxes and everything else that is supposed to be done is done. So, although we probably have plenty of massage parlors around, if she qualifies, and I don't see how we could deny it. So if there's nobody else who wants to make any comments or people want to comment, but I would move to approve use permit application UP 210009 for a massage establishment at 150 Carmelito Avenue in Monterey, pursuant to the findings that are presented in the packet.
Second, Village.
Okay, we have a first and a second with Hanson and Ann. Steve, any other comments? And let's have a roll call.
Sorry, typing, unmuting, you know the drill. Chair Brassfield? What's your vote?
Yes. I think it's laid out pretty easy. Yes.
Okay, great. And Vice Chair Freeman?
Yes.
Commissioner Dawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Fletcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Latassa?
Aye.
Commissioner Milich?
Yes.
And Commissioner Reed?
Double thumbs up. Yes.
All right, great. That again passed unanimously. Thank you for
Okay,
voting.
I'd like to bring up my typo comment now. I finally remembered. Packet page 31, under item number 3, it says the lift of the UP of the, and it should be the life of the UP.
Yes, yes, I caught that too.
Oh, very good.
Thank you for bringing it up.
This is like the bottom of the 7th inning with the Dawson typos.
But I was wondering if there was another meaning to the word, so thank you.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So that was a unanimous vote as well. And I think the only thing we have left is announcements from staff on future agenda items.
And commissioners. comment.
Well, then we got to do that, but next on the
Yes.
agenda.
Thank you. Thank you for attending, most, I think all commissioners attended the Brown Act, Conflicts of Interest and Public Records Act training. We really appreciate your participation. It's really important. If you have any questions about any of the training materials, we are happy to answer them. The March 24th, 2021 council meeting, there was a presentation on the climate pollutant reduction strategy, and then a presentation on the Healthy Eating Active Living annual report, and a letter to the State Water Resources Control Board regarding relief from condition 2 of the cease and desist order. And yes, that letter was approved and it will be sent to the State Water Board. For next time, the tentative agenda is 500 Hartnell, which is the Stokes Adobe. There is a use permit proposed for the same type of use, a restaurant with a bar. However, that might not go until the meeting after. I believe it was moved to the May meeting.
Do they need a permit for the ghost in the bar?
The what?
There's a ghost in the bar. Anyone who's been there would know.
Well, that's questionable whether that's occupancy or not.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh no. Well, it's gonna require a historic permit too.
They don't need water permit, water allocation either.
That's right.
Oh, and then I think this may have also been moved, but the 2101 North Fremont Hotel, that is coming up probably to the May Planning Commission meeting. That's the hotel on North Fremont called Avid Hotel. And there was an environmental review document that was circulated. It might still be under review, so that's why the meeting was pushed to May, I believe. That's it for planning office update.
Okay, then I'll bring it back to the commission for your comments. Steve, you have one?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I have a question. So,
Go ahead.
and maybe Fernando knows, what is the potential schedule for actually reopening public hearings live?
I haven't heard from, we will receive those news from our city clerk's office. I haven't heard yet. I think we're still waiting maybe to move on to the next tier.
Really?
What's next? From orange to yellow, maybe? I'm not sure. But we will let you know as soon as we find out.
Okay, I mean, the governor's reopening is what, June 15th, so.
Right.
We will have more knowledge before then.
Okay, thank you. Any other question or comments? I have a, go ahead. Johnson. You don't have any comments, correct? Thank you. I was asked by several people the status of the other corner, the next corner down the block on North Fremont at the old Eddie's. Have you heard anything on that?
I heard that it was sold,
Ooh,
and but I don't know who bought it. I think they might be out of town.
there was a plan for that, was there not?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so.
shovel ready, supposedly.
Oh, that one. I'm sorry. I think I'm confusing it to another property. No, that is in the building permit stage.
Is this the one next to the bowling alley?
No.
Across the street.
Diagonally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next to the award-winning bike path.
Yeah, there was one property that was sold recently, but I'm not familiar. I haven't been here for that long. I know that it's called the Old Pet Hospital or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I'm thinking.
The Deco Vets Hospital, yeah.
I think that might have recently sold.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Becoming a bumpy road. So let's just say good night. And thank you for the great staff presentation, Fernanda.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So let's close this meeting. Thank you very much for attending.